In this lesson, we will introduce you to a very important aspect of Revit, which are called levels. Levels are the flat horizontal datum points that we use to manage our building vertically. Level 1, level 2, level 3, top of foundation, top of main floor, all that good stuff. So I'm going to start by creating a empty project using a template. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up to here and say new project. Okay, new project. And I'm going to look at my list of potential project templates and say, well, I'm going to use a architectural template file, which is going to be preset for kind of architectural objects. If I wanted to draw ductwork, I should have used the mechanical template file. So here we are up in the sky looking straight down. These are our elevations, north, south, east, and west, nothing drawn. Okay. If I double click on this, it opens up that view, which says south. You can see it there, or I can just go click, click, and open up my south view. Oh, look at that. There's already two levels in there. Level 1 and level 2. Level 1 is at 0 feet, or we can change it to be metric if it's a metric project. And level 2 is at 10 feet. Now, what you don't want to do is start moving your levels around. Levels, once they're set, you should really click on it and use the pin tool over here and say pin that. That way it can't be accidentally moved. If you move a level by mistake, you're moving everything on the level. Every piece of furniture, every piece of ductwork, every pipe, every floor, every door. Because everything is tied to a level. Pretty much everything physical in a Revit project is in fact tied to a level. It can't not have a level. It can be above the level, it can be below the level, but it's associated to a level. So one of the first things we always do when we start a project is get your levels. Get all your levels set up. If you think it's going to be a 20-story building, get your 20 levels in there right off the bat. If you don't need them right away, that's fine. But what you don't want to do is know fully well it's going to be a 5-story project and only draw one level at a time. Okay? You can draw one level at a time, but get the levels themselves in there. So if we did want to consider that, we're going to zoom out, and on the architecture or structure tab, you can see it says level right here under data. So we're going to hover over. I'm not going to even worry about how high it is, so we can move it after the fact. I just want to line it up, click on here, drag over here. Now, if I was to go in the wrong direction, you'd notice that my little symbol is on the wrong direction depending on where I go. Now, I don't have to stop there. I can draw a level wherever I want. I can draw a level down here. I can draw a level over here. Okay. As you draw levels, it's going to be smart enough to know where it is, and it's just going to keep adding up level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's say, you know what, these last two guys, I'm going to do a crossing box to select them and say delete. When you delete levels, Revit doesn't like it because they're very important. So it's warning you, you're about to delete 2 levels. Yes, let's get rid of that. Then I say, okay, I want to tidy this guy up. When I'm going to zoom in, you're going to see there's some different things. If you click on here, it opens and closes just the symbol. Okay. If you hit the little hollow circle and press and drag and hold it, you can line it up and then bink. Once it lines up, you'll see this lock, which means now if you move it, the endpoints of those guys are all locked. So if you drag one level, you'll drag them all. If you want to drag it without dragging the other ones, you have to take the lock off, and then you can drag that guy out. If you hit the 3D button, it turns to 2D, which means you can drag that over there. Now, if you pick on here, the old 3D button is still there. Okay? It's only when you bring them back together where it becomes fully 3D again. If you change it to be 2D and you drag it, this only changes the line extents in this one view. Okay? If I go and look at the north view, the opposite end looking this way, the end of my level will be here because it's set to be 3D. So if you click on a level and you take the 3D off, what it means is if I drag, you see it has a different point. If I drag that, it only changes it in this one view. It doesn't change it in any other view. The 3D extent of it is the hollow line. So I say, okay, I want to come over here and I want to turn all these guys on. So I click on here, turn these guys on. Now what I want to do is probably do a dimension using my dimension tool here off of there, or I can go to annotate, or it's probably on my quick access toolbar. So I'm going to go click, click. Oh, look, I forgot one by mistake. Oh, I got to go back. Wiggle, wiggle, click. Then I can hit modify or hit escape. Now I'm going to refine my level heights. Well, I wanted my level 2 at 12 feet. So what I can do is I can pick on here and I can change this to say, 12 feet, and it'll bump that up and this will change. I can also pick on here and change this number to say 12 feet and it'll move it from there. Okay. If I pick on here and I change the number, it'll say 9 feet. I don't have to say feet, I just say 9 and it'll move it down. So we can adjust these. Now, if I pick this and change this number, it's going to move this guy. If I take this and change this number, 10. Now, if I want 10'6", I would write 10 space 6. You don't have to put the feet or inches. And if you don't say anything, it means feet. Click on here and away we go. Now I can do another dimension total and it should be 43 feet 6. I'm sure it is. Wiggle, wiggle, click nothing and place it. There it is, 43 feet 6. If I want to rename my levels, all I have to do is pick on here once, pick again and change it in here and say, top of main. It's going to say, do you want to rename the view over here of that level? Yes, I do. And look, there it is, top of main. If you change the name of the level, it's going to change the corresponding floor plan or prompt you to. So I'm going to go in here and say top of, second floor. Click out. Do you want to rename? Yes. Click out. So you'll notice that when you make a new level and you start to draw, it says here, make plan view. So I left that checked on. Okay. So what happens here is as I draw my level, it makes a plan view. If I take this off and draw a level, okay, and draw another level, it's not going to make a floor plan of that level. It's just creating a level. You'll see the black symbol line. Okay. If you want to make a floor plan of the level after the fact, you go up to the top under view and you say plan view. I want to make a floor plan and it's saying these are the only two that don't already have floor plans. Click on them both. It's going to create new floor plans over here. Click out. And then if I go back to that south elevation, these guys are blue instead of black because now they have a floor plan associated, which makes them change from blue to black. If it gets tight, you can click on this little dog leg and you can maneuver these guys around a little bit to make it look better. Okay. And then if you just drag it back and line it up, it heals itself back. So you can create that dog leg by going in here and picking on there. Okay, if you change the blue number to be 90 feet, it'll actually move it. Okay, because that number is controlled by the, well, sometimes you have to kind of get in there close. So there's our levels, and that's going to show up in all our elevations. If we go to the east elevation, there's our levels. North elevation, there's our levels. West elevation. So establish your levels early, get them set up vertically, and try not to do your best guess at spacing them, keeping in mind the floor thickness and plenum space, etc.